Welcome, everybody.
Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Well, the Father waits with open arms. He's calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in, come on in. You'll find a place of rest and illumination as God within you helps you to light your way. He wants to hold you and to hurt your feeling. He wants to hold you and to drip your tears away. Well, the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, come on in. There is room enough in the home of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dwight Wells, and I'm the guest hostess or host or something this morning, and it's my honor to do that. And if we have anybody that is new to our beautiful church, we would ask maybe that you raise your hand. Don't have to, but we would request. I'm not seeing any hands going up, so anyway, welcome everybody that is not new to the church. Let's see. We have a guest musician today, Tom.
Tim.
Tom Ham. Tim, I'm sorry. Tim Ham.
Tom's his brother.
Okay. Younger brother or older brother?
Both.
Both. Oh, both. Okay. Your mother must have been busy, right? And let's see. We are still recommending the mask. We're hoping that perhaps in the near future we will be able to dispense with the masks, but we do recommend that you wear them here in the congregation. Next week, I think we have an exciting guest speaker. Most of you have an intimate knowledge of our person next Sunday. It's going to be Alan Moss, and I'm sure his beautiful wife Debbie will be with him also. So that's pretty exciting, and we're always glad to have Alan come back. He certainly was a very important part of making this church what it is today. So look forward to that, and hopefully our minister's out having fun somewhere. Out of town, out of the country maybe. Let's see. Got to get on to the next page that I'm supposed to read. Some of this information is in your bulletin. We have a Wednesday gathering. We have a Course on Miracles. And then lastly, but not leastly, we have some birthdays today. We have Cindy on the 14th. Where's Cindy? Okay. And we have Patrick on the 17th. I know Patrick's here. And then we have a very, very special announcement. On the 19th, Linda will have an anniversary, 45 years. Merritt. Where's Linda? Where she's hiding in the back there. So that's certainly. We have another birthday. Whoop. All right, another birthday. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, God loves you. Happy birthday to you. It's the only reason I like doing this is I get to hold this lady's hand.
Hello, good morning. So today with the children, well, I'm Piper, director of the, hey, Owen. So today we're going to be speaking of family roles, and we're actually going to be talking about Encanto, the movie, because I've been obsessed. And it's Owen's favorite movie, apparently. That's so exciting. Okay, so the daily word for today is entitled community. We are the environment. The kids at my school, my circle of friends, my family, and I create the environment within our community. We are all different colors and sizes. We have varied interests and hobbies. We keep our community open and flourishing with diversity when we accept that we are unique and important. I know that the people and conditions within my home and school, my neighborhood and world, have influenced me in positive ways. And I also want to be a positive influence for others. Together, we are building a greater understanding of one another. Because I understand God's intention of good for all, I want to do all I can to bless the people who make up my community. What I can always do is let my words and actions help create an environment of love and acceptance that acknowledges and welcomes everyone as essential to the overall good of the community. And lastly, the affirmation of the day is, I am surrounded by loving, helpful people. My parents, friends, and teachers love and honor me. And with that, we will go.
I was starting to worry. There was nobody here at about 10 of, hardly. And then I saw it was 5 of. And then I said, how many people are sleeping in today? And then I said, how many people forgot that we changed our clocks today? And then how many people slept in because we changed our clocks and because it was cold? So you can see we have a lot more empty seats today. Hopefully they'll come to the 12 o'clock service, and we will welcome them on our way out. So anyway, good morning. Thank you for being here. You're in for a real treat with Tim today. Isn't this nice? You know, I have been listening to a couple of Tim's CDs for the last few weeks, and literally, I have to say it worked out great that he could fill in for Elliot because I get to hear some of his music live instead of, in the recordings, so I'm very excited. First, I just want to make a couple of announcements to add to Dwight's announcements. One is the Joshua House. And Duncan, thank you. So the Joshua House, Norma and Susan went to the Joshua House and they found us a few projects were going to be useful. For Easter, we are going to be collecting food for them. And then we are also going to help with donating Easter baskets or the contents for them. But the really exciting thing is we were able to help this week for spring break by purchasing 5 pizzas for 15 kids during spring break. So Norma took care of that for us this week, and we're very excited to have a new project. So thank you to Norma and Susan for finding us a new opportunity. And then also, I want to mention 2 other things. On the table on your way out, well, let me back up. First, when you leave today, Julie, Tim's wife, is going to be back there selling Tim's music. If you like his music, you may want to pick up a CD of your own. That would be awesome. And then also, by the offering box, I have flyers. One of them is for the Ukraine project, and I learned more information this morning. So Sam found a church in St. Pete that has collected all kinds of supplies and boxed them to send to Poland to support the people that are refugees coming from the Ukraine. However, this morning I also found a list of places you can donate money to that are feeding people on the border, and also reputable groups that my friend from the Ukraine has been donating to since 2014. I'm going to post those on the Facebook page and on our website later today. But we have flyers. If you'd like to participate in what the church is collecting, please pick up a flyer on your way out. I also just want to mention that we have an upcoming Mad Walk, Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, and for some of you already are on our team. We have a team called Lewis's Angels. Sharon and Bruce Hall are members of Unity of Tampa, and as you know, Bruce passed some time ago. Well, seems like a blink of an eye ago. But Sharon is still leading our team, and they lost a son to a drunk driver. And many of you know I have a metal plate in my neck from a drunk driver. And I lost my best friend to a drunk driver. So Reverend Allen lost his son to a drunk driver only a few years ago. So we, as a family, walk in support of stopping drinking and driving. And if you would like to join our team or donate to our team, we used to go as Unity of Tampa and Lewis's Angels, and we just stuck with Lewis's Angels so that people knew we were walking for Lewis, who used to be like Michael Williams and hand out our brochures and our bulletins every Sunday. And he was only 23 when he was killed. So we would just like you, if you're interested, feel free to join us. There are flyers back there with the Ukrainian flyers, okay? So that's my big stuff for today. And Sam is our board angel on duty today. Sam, please stand. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, please, about the church or something that Sam can solve, rebuild, whatever you want, come see Sam. Thank you, Sam. All right, all that is said, so now we're going to go into spirit mode, and I want you to join me in saying our affirmation, please. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And don't forget the God the good part, okay? Our daily word today is light, and it says the light of truth dissolves all darkness. A bird's cheerful song interrupts the quiet of the night. The dark sky grows lighter and puffy clouds begin to glow with a beautiful shade of pink. Brilliant rays announce the sun's arrival, and the sun peeks over the horizon, flooding the new day with light. Light dissolves darkness in my consciousness in a similar way. At a challenging time, my heart responds to the hopeful thought that this too shall pass. Hope grows into faith as my mind opens to divine wisdom that is always mine to claim. Guided by the dawning light of truth, I see the way forward and follow it with confidence. As surely as each new day brings a sunrise, my faith assures me that the light of truth will dissolve the darkness of any obstacle I may face. And from John 1, verse 5, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. Very important message for all of us in these times. Darkness will not overcome the light. And with that said, I'm going to hand it back to Tim and the band, our wonderful Michael and Alvon and Christian. Thank you for being here. And Duncan, special thanks to you up there, and David and Michael. Thank you all. We appreciate you. And this is a great song. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. It's an honor to be here. Glad to be here this morning with you to play some music. I'm going to teach you a song that we can all sing together, and let's sing it in a way that it feels like every seat is filled. That'll be fun. It's from the 60s, so many of you may have heard it. At the end of every refrain, it goes, let's work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, 'cause together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Try it with me. You'll have them, yes. Let's work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, now, people. 'Cause together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and man. Great. Now let's get up and do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Together we stand, divided we fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, 'cause together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and man. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, the road you travel seems all uphill. Let's work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, 'cause together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. 2 or 3 minutes, 2 or 3 hours, what does it matter now in this life of ours? Let's work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, 'cause together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Make someone happy, make someone happy, make someone smile. Let's work together and make life worthwhile. Let's work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, 'cause together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Again. 'Cause together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and man.
How's that for some energy? Thank you. That was awesome. All right, I have 2 great stories to share today. The first one is from Coley, and this is about Polish moms who are helping mothers fleeing Ukraine. And what they've done is, as you can see in the photo, they leave strollers where the moms get off the train station in Poland, so that the mothers fleeing the war zones with their children have them when they arrive. But I love what they wrote about this. It says, placed there by Polish moms, the strollers bear no instructions. Those who have fled Putin's invading army without much more than the clothes on their backs and the babies in their arms know what they're for. These strollers do so much more than provide a place for persecuted children to sit. They declare compassion, solidarity, and give the gift of acknowledgement to those parents stepping off a train with relief, but also heavy with uncertainty. They are prepared for nothing, so the strollers are everything. For many of us, a trip to the bus stop without a stroller seems like an impossible task. Armed with snacks, juice cups, stomp rockets, and a change of clothes, just in case our little ones get dirty, we prepare for every possible scenario. And only a few short weeks ago, so did the parents of the Ukraine. Now empty strollers stand sentinel along the platform for mothers and caregivers arriving to Poland, many who have traveled for days in fear for their lives as war refugees from the Ukraine. But isn't that a wonderful thing to see? And that you can see they're filled with so many things they'll need. It's just, it's hopeful to know there's so many ways people are helping. All right, a little more on the uplifting side. There's a Dollar General store worker in Illinois who had a really awesome experience I want to tell you about. Emily Duncan just like everybody else that works at the Dollar General store, was just having a normal week, but an 85-year-old woman came in and decided to share her life story with Emily one day in the checkout line while the line was backing up. She talked about her service in the Navy, the places she had lived, the details about her children, where they lived. But instead of rushing the lady along, Emily just simply listened and smiled. Well, the gentleman behind the 85-year-old woman, Gerald Swindle, he was a little irritated. And he's a professional bass angler. He was in a hurry. He just ran in to grab a couple of things. Excuse me. And at first he was irritated, and then he became almost calmed by her patience with this woman and her level of interest. In fact, he became so inspired by her kindness that he took a video of himself talking about what he witnessed. In the video, he said, "You showed me what people are to be. You should always embrace that and not want to rush people out of a conversation. Sometimes it might be the only person they talk to this entire week. You inspired me, and sometimes I need that, so I appreciate it." The video went viral and caught the attention of the Dollar General corporate team, and the leadership showed up in the small town store with flowers and a plaque to recognize Emily's kindness, and they donated $1,000 to a local grade school in her name. The attention came as quite a surprise to humble Emily. She said, "This is all kind of surreal. What I've learned is so amazing, the impact you can have on people just by being yourself, working at the Dollar General store. It's awesome." Isn't that great? And that's from Bobby Lopez. Yeah, thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that story, too. All right, now you're in for a real treat, and so am I, because Tim is not only going to play a song, the meta song, he's going to take us through meditation in the process. So we're just going to let you guide us, and enjoy every minute. And I was just telling Christian before the service that I can't listen to this song in the car because I want to close my eyes, and I don't think that's good.
Yeah, we'll do the meditation this morning while the song is playing. It's called the Metta Song, and it's based on an ancient Buddhist tradition called Metta. Thank you. Beautiful, yes. Little mindfulness bell there. So, metta means loving kindness or friendliness. And this story about Emily is exactly what is a metta practice. But we can generate that loving kindness through a meditation called the metta meditation. And how it works is you offer kindness to yourself first. Sometimes that's the hardest place to start, but that's where we start. We know that we are not other than anybody else. They are us, we are them. And then we move out to others in our closer circle, family, friends, teachers, people we naturally feel compassion toward. And we just say, we wish for your happiness. We wish for you to be free from all suffering. Just something simple like that. And then you move out to people you don't know, like Emily did. She didn't know this woman, but she offered loving kindness and friendliness to this woman. So simple, and it stopped everything and made a space for transformation right there for that man. It's a beautiful story. Then you can offer it to your enemies, people you think of that might be against you, people you have trouble with, people that you may disagree with vehemently and think they are bad. You can be loving and kind towards them, and this is a good way to practice that. And then all other beings, animals, plants, the earth. We think of some of these things as non-living, but that's not quite true. They're all living. So, also, if you like this practice and want to do it, I have little cards in the back. It has the lyrics to the song on the front, and it has a suggestion for the loving kindness meditation. And they're available, no charge. Just come back and get one if you want to use it. Okay. Just close your eyes. Come to your breath. Just notice it. Breathing in. I am here. Breathing out. I relax. You can leave everything else behind. Whatever you brought with you, just put it down for a minute. Be with your breath. You have everything you need right here. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I have courage, determination, and understanding for all I meet. May I be well. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you have courage, determination, and understanding for all you meet. May you be well. May they be well, may they be happy, may they be peaceful and at ease. May they have courage, determination, and understanding for all they meet. May they be well. And for all living beings, especially my enemies, may we all be healthy and strong, and may we live in harmony. May we be well, may we be happy, may we be peaceful and at ease. May we have courage, determination, and understanding for all we meet. May we be well. May we be well. May we be well.
Thank you. That was lovely. I was going to let you do my talk too, but. So hopefully you're getting the theme of today, which is talking about our village and all the people and looking at life from a bigger perspective. You know, for thousands of years, people have joined together in groups to find their identity, to figure out their purpose in life, to understand why they exist. Churches, tribes, clans, cultural practices have always been centered around people gathering as a group. And we do the same. All of us have found it valuable to belong to various groups throughout our life for different reasons. Some to find our identity, some to find our purpose, and sometimes just because we wanted to be with like-minded people. Think about all the reasons we come together on Sunday. Isn't that one of them? Because we like being with like-minded people. Look at all the groups we have here. Our board, our chaplains, our care team, our outreach, the meditation group, the garden group, the Course in Miracles, the grief group, the soul sisters, the mat makers, the pet walkers, and even the choir, and I'm sure I've missed some. But there's a reason that we are all together. Because we feel better when we're together. And there's actual research that proves that. So outside of Unity of Tampa, right, we all have our various initiatives. Some of you maybe belong to card groups, maybe you belong to game-playing groups, sports groups, dance groups, who knows. But the point is that you socialize with other people because it eliminates loneliness. That is one of the main reasons people join groups, is it helps us to avoid that sense of isolation. It gives us a sense of empowerment and an opportunity to learn and grow and to do it together. And in some cases, it may even help us remain physically or mentally fit. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is, why are we spiritually drawn to being part of something bigger than ourselves? And the main reason is because it's a basic human need to be part of a community. It's one of the first things you learn when you learn Maslow's hierarchy, right? There's a need for people to be together. When we don't feel that we are a part of a group, we will experience isolation and loneliness. And in fact, the most recent statistics show that 2 out of 3 people in our country 3 out of 5 people in our country experience loneliness, and they don't feel like they belong. That's pretty scary. If we did the math right here, that means we've all experienced it. Is there anybody who's never felt isolated or alone? Anybody here? Right, exactly my point. But it's through our experience of belonging to something in a group that actually grows us as human beings. We will not grow by ourselves. This is a really important thing for us to learn. It is through our social support groups and that we develop these healthier mindsets and become more resilient, that we live longer, and we experience a higher level of overall emotional and physical well-being. Research continues to prove that we are simply better when we are with other people. It brings out the best in us. And there's power in numbers. You know, Deepak Chopra talks about this. He wrote a book, well, he wrote many books, let's pass that. But in one of the books, he talked about the power of group meditation. And he shared studies that showed the positive social, political, and economic results correlated to synchronized group meditations. For example, an experiment conducted during the Lebanon War in the 1980s showed that when 1,000 people in Jerusalem meditated on world peace, deaths associated with the war in Lebanon were reduced by 75%. That's huge. Only 1,000 people. And not only did war deaths go down, but crime and other destructive happenings also went down on the days the group meditated. Now, in the past week, we've seen evidence of the power of numbers, haven't we? So over 300 companies pulled out of Russia. 300. It all started with one. One company decided to pull out, and 299 others joined. There's power in numbers. The people of Poland stepped up to help the people of the Ukraine. In numbers, big numbers. And we've seen how the Ukrainian people have been empowered to help one another stay behind and fight for the cause they believe in, both because of a sense of belonging and because there's power in numbers. There was an article written entitled The Power of Groups, and a gentleman named David Watson of Discipleship Making Movements shared some benefits, and I really like these, so I wanted to share them with you. The first benefit he shared is that groups generally learn faster than individuals, because as individuals, we have limited ability to absorb information. But when we belong to a group of people absorbing the same information, it becomes something that we start to get more accurately and more reliably from each other. So let's just take our spiritual community for a second. When we're all together and we're talking about things we're all struggling with or we're all learning, what happens is we learn more from our conversations with each other. So we come together in that way. The second one is groups remember more than individuals. Our collective memory is better because we are doing this together. And number 3 is groups can hold one another accountable for the actions that the group or the purpose the group is trying to accomplish. Groups help each other stay the course. So when individuals in a group start to veer off and do their own thing, the group pulls them back. When we're alone, that doesn't happen. So just even think about people working out. Why do people go to gyms to work out? Because you know there's other people there and you're going to see other people going through the same thing. And you may find someone who's doing something you need to be doing and you feel encouraged by that. And groups will grow faster and gain momentum in their purpose. We know that. When we join together, we have made some powerful impact in our community. And we will continue to do that. So history has proven that individuals are more successful when they belong to group efforts. And I want to share some of my story with you today. So back in 2008, I was introduced to a group called the Second Time Arounders Marching Band. Janice Thomas, one of our board members, not only works for them, volunteers for them, but he has been their creative director for 30 years. Now, marching bands you think of, right? They're all musical instruments, but not this one. This group is the largest in the country. It's based here in St. Pete. They have a rifle twirling team. They have a majorettes baton twirling team. They have sign carriers, letter carriers, rifle flags, twirlers, sign carriers, and a dance team. So when Janice invited me, he invited me to join the dance team. He knew I'd been in dance most of my life. He said, I think you'd really like this. And oh, by the way, we are performing in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. So we have local parades, but this big one coming up. Well, there were many of us in New York City from Unity of Tampa that year. Because once Janice invited me and I told other people, there was a whole group of us. So Sheila over there, Sheila was with us in New York City back in 2008. Flag, right? She was a flag carrier. Bruce and Sharon were there. Bruce was in the drum line. Sharon was a sign carrier, I think, back then. Of course, Cindy. Where's Cindy? Yes, Cindy. Cindy played the flute. Yes. Cindy was in the actual band, played the flute. She had been recruited by Janice. And Fern Kenyon, who is Sharon's mom, she was in the parade with us. Many of you remember Fern. And we had this incredible experience of 550 of us marching down in New York City. Can you even imagine being part of anything that big? I'd never experienced that feeling of what it was like to be with a group like that. Everybody watching out for each other. But more importantly, and this is the part that really I want you to hear, is that that's when it really became important to understand that we are all only one piece of the puzzle. But when our piece is not in place, it affects the entire view. And the picture is not complete. And you don't realize that until you see the aerial views of 550 people coming down the street. One person, one hand, one movement, one person out of line affects the entire look of the canvas. Every person's role can positively or negatively impact the group. Somebody's late to get in line, somebody forgets what they're doing, and somebody else follows them. The whole thing starts to fall apart quickly. One person's actions that are dissonant or incorrect affect the emotional well-being of everybody too, who's worked so hard to achieve these things. Now, another really important thing I learned is that you should never go backwards. Never. Marching forward is the only thing you can do. Because when you step backwards for blocks long, everything's thrown off. You do not go backwards, and we shouldn't in life either. Well, for a number of personal reasons, I stepped away the next year. One, because my mom was dying, and from then on, it just seemed to add up all the reasons I couldn't do this. And then in 2021, Janice approached me again, okay, 13 years later, and said, I think you need to join the group. Well, I thought, I've done this before, this should be really easy. It was not. It has not been. It has not been simple. It has not been easy. And I think I realized just how difficult it was when we performed in the Gasparilla Night Parade a few weeks ago. 15 blocks is all we had to go. 15 long blocks. And I forgot to mention that we stop at every block and are still marching and dancing and performing. But this is what became really crystal clear to me in the last few weeks, which is why I wanted to talk about it today, is that I never realized how important it was to be part of this village, a village. All of us think, I can do this better by myself. If they just let me try to learn, I'll be okay. But it doesn't work that way. When you belong to something bigger than yourself, you become vulnerable enough to let others help you. You see, none of us were meant to live as islands, and we need to surround ourselves by people who can lift us up. And learning to depend on other people when you're independent is not easy. But trusting that village to carry you that direction is critical in life. Not only for your own personal well-being and success, but for the success of the group as a whole. Well, it was 14 years now between Macy's and the Gasparilla Parade. And even though the group went back to Macy's a few years ago, I was not with them. So for several months now, my life has been filled with tears, ice packs, heating pads, anti-inflammatories, a lot of biofreeze, and a whole bunch of doubt. And I think a lot of people, when I rejoined, thought I had lost my mind, family members to begin with. Not Jeffrey and Melody, but the rest of the gang. They said, you've had 13 surgeries in your lifetime, you had your big heyday in Macy's, and you had to do this again? And I, of course, chimed in saying, of course I did. I love a good challenge. But I really came to understand how important a village is. So I want to tell you the people you need in your village. This is my personal list. Number one, when you're part of a village, find the cheerleader. You need someone who's going to help you feel good about yourself no matter how bad you look, no matter how difficult it gets, and still be waiting for you on the other side of crossing the finish line. You need a cheerleader. Everybody needs one. If you can find more than one, good for you. The second role I figured out real quick is you need motivators. You need people who are going to listen to your struggles, talk you off the ledge, and help you outline a game plan so you actually have an action plan. And the third role is the critic, and this is really important. You've got to have someone who will call out your mistakes, tell you when you've fallen off the beaten path, and unapologetically tell you that you can do better and that you're better than this. So, tomorrow morning, we leave for Ireland. And we have 3 performances in Ireland this week. One is a concert performance in front of Kilkenny Castle on Wednesday. And on St. Patrick's Day, over 300 of us will perform and march in the St. Patrick's Day parade in Dublin, get on a bus, and go perform in Celbridge in another parade right after. Friday, we get a day to ourselves, and Saturday, we come home. And all I can say is that I cannot believe this is happening. And I've had nightmares about forgetting something, routine, but I keep thinking about all the people in the village who have lifted me up to be able to leave tomorrow. And I just want to remind all of us, and I'll show you our takeaways, but building a village is everything in life. So if you don't have a village, I want you to work on that. Let's take a look at our lessons for today. I already gave you number 1. Build a village of supporters. You aren't a one-person band, not literally or figuratively. Number 2, commit with a sense of purpose. The role you play impacts everyone. Number 3, embrace the opportunity to belong. This is how we grow and reach our potential. And number 4, accept and celebrate your personal best. Dance to the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Our affirmation today is, I make a difference. Let's say it together. I make a difference. Our quote for today is from Helen Keller. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. Let's pause and take that in. So we pause now to realize that as one piece of the puzzle in life, that each of us must be in our right and perfect place in order for the entire fabric of the puzzle to be in perfect order. Every one of us belongs to that puzzle. Every one of us part of a village. And all parts equal and needed. And we give thanks for purpose and people and the gift of belonging. Amen. And now, I just want to say two things. First of all, if you are in need of prayer, please feel free to leave us a prayer in the prayer box, or you can send it online. And also, I want to remind you that if you want to donate to the church, there are many ways to do that. There's a box in the back. That's the simple way. There's an app. There's an online way to donate. And we are grateful for all you give to us and to keep our mission going. So I want us to join together in saying our prosperity prayer. We have faith in God as our instant, constant, abundant supply and supplier. We have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. We have faith in God to guide us in all our ways, and our health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. For your abundant good, now flowing forth to meet our every need. Amen. And with that, Tim and the band are going to play one of my favorite songs from his album. So, thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. So here's your chance to dance to the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Get up, clap, dance. It's a village. You can do what you want. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Dance, dance, dance like a nobody's business. Forget about what the neighbors might say. No, 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 asking for permission. Everybody come on out and play. Make your move, now you're in the spotlight. Go on and do what you want to do. Dream that dream, now you're feeling alright. Baby, it's all in your point of view. The waiting is over, so ready or not, dance, 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 get up and dance. Dance, 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 get up and dance. Time is short, now tell me, do you remember? All good people have come and gone. But can you find anything that is better than moving to the rhythm of a rock and roll song? The train's leaving the station. It's time to get on board and dance, dance, dance. Get up and dance. Dance, dance, dance. Shut up and dance. All right, Michael. Now listen to my tale of a humble pilgrim. For the sake of truth, he leaves his home behind. On a mountaintop, he finds a cave to sit in. And there he proceeds to purify his mind. In 20 years, he comes back down, strolls into the nearest town. His disciples ask him what he found. And this is what he said: you gotta dance, 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 get up up and dance. Dance, 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 shut up and dance. Dance, 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 get up and dance. Dance, 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 get up and dance.
So much. Do you guys like that? How about we thank Tim for being here today? Tim, thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much. It's been a blast. Thank you for having me. I'll be back again pretty soon.
Good. We would like that.
Time for the peace song. How do we start that? I have the last line. Okay. On earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now let's join together and sing the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. I hope you'll be back next week to see Reverend Allen. And please keep us in your prayers for a safe journey back. And thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank